Reese, welcome to Toronto, buddy. Excited to have you here, man.
I'm excited to be here.
Excited to get you to the house with the cameras in your face. Yeah, you're a star now, buddy.
Yeah.
Revis, good to meet you, buddy. Welcome. Sorry we kept you waiting. You got through a lot faster than
Reese, yeah.
Reese did. Welcome to Toronto, buddy.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Look who made it. Oh my God. What's going on, what's on, man? Hey, what's up, bro? What's up? What's up, Jake?
I think Bear handles it the best, where he's like, I need that. I need that. Yeah, more of that. Like, you kind of get into their head a little bit, like make them think that they're helping you by talking trash. And thank God we have an intimidation factor in Timely Cook this season. It's going to make you guys feel good going to the studio. You might not appreciate it right now, but believe me, when you sit down in that seat for the first time and Mel's over there just screaming at you, or you got Dave Fry on the other end, having Timely stand up and bark for you is going to feel really good.
Actually, I remember in season 1, Mel was trying to yell at Cook, and it was a good little battle. Mel didn't talk no more. He said, "Who's soft? Who's soft?"
Can't be doing that. Come on, man. It's soft now.
We take every day super seriously, right? If you don't feel challenged at least once a week, if you don't feel challenged throughout this season, you're just not doing enough, honestly. And come into this eyes wide open. It's really easy to be, a good teammate, carry yourself well 90% of the time. It's when you get challenged, it's when you see red, it's when a teammate makes you mad, right? We live in a gaming house. That's an interesting dynamic to the team, and it's part of the reason why we drafted the way that we have, because I know that chemistry matters. You've heard me say this before, but no team plays to their full potential in the studio. Not one of them. I'm telling you right now. Everybody gets there, there's stage fright, there's pressure, there's all this stuff. So staying even keel individually, like finding that mentality that's gonna take the misplays and forget about them and move on. Don't let a misplay beat you twice. Right? I said this in season 1. If you make a mistake, don't be hanging on to it mentally into the next play, because now you just lost twice off one mistake, right? If we show up in that studio and we are on the same wavelength, and this is a huge thing, like the team buys in and plays on the same wavelength, and we get closer to that practice potential than the other teams in the league, I'm telling you we can beat every single team in this league. And we can be that team that everybody's afraid of. And this year, it's gonna be absolutely critical that we kind of find our lineup and we refine it. And every week, when other teams are not doing film and when they're out on the beach or whatever they're doing, in other markets, we're gonna be in the basement and we're gonna be watching film and we're gonna be critiquing our little mistakes and we're gonna become a well-oiled machine.
For us to be like a good team, we gotta be like friends off the court and on the court. Cause at the end of the day, bro, we all we got. We all trying to win money, and it's to the point like we gotta be on the same page. Cause if you got something, you see something on the floor, you basically say it, because if you holding that in, feel like you scared to talk to somebody, it'll never work. And if we all establish our role right from the jump, we should be a good team. Because Kenny, our point guard, he gonna run the show, and we all just gotta, whatever he want, we gotta make him comfortable as possible, because as long as we good in our role and he do what he gotta do, we should be a great team.
Yeah, but that don't mean you guys can't come to me and tell me if you see something that I'm not doing, or if the defense doing something, like, hey, Kenny, try this. I'm definitely optimistic to run anything, because I need you guys just as much as you need me. And for us to be a great team, it's going to take all of us together and on the same page.
The third Uprising, cheers. Everyone, welcome to Toronto.
Third Uprising.
To the 3 new guys, welcome to the NBA 2K League. You've worked hard to get here, but it is not guaranteed.
Get a cheer on that. Come on, man.
Cheers.
Team chemistry is challenging. It's a little art, a little science, a little luck, and we've had a lot of luck. And with our guys living under one roof, it served as a huge advantage to us in many ways. But when there was a bit of a riff in the lineup, it just accelerated. Quite frankly, I think would have loved to have seen Juan, stick it out a little longer, and I'm not sure the issues were irreconcilable, but ultimately he was unhappy. He wanted to go home, and that was an option that was available to him, and he exercised it, and so he's in Miami, and Jake has played his way into the lineup. He's been everything we could have hoped for in a player coming in as a sixth man, and a sponge in practice and the right attitude and wanting to learn, and when given the opportunity, stepping into the lineup and delivering for us.
Oh yeah, Kenny, predictions?
I mean, the team from Toronto's gonna have a lot of eyes on him.
Kenny this year.
I mean, they have just kind of been a 500 team for the last 2 seasons.
With Kenny,
Kenny got work on the right corner. Kenny finds some space. That's gonna be another green.
Can Kenny play point guard? Can Kenny do this, do that?
Kenny running the break. Kenny up with 2 hands.
And I told you, Shane, I know you speak highly of the VPs and like the radiance of the league.
Where you're starting to see Kenny get into that rhythm.
Predictions, MVP.
And I told myself this offseason, I'm going hard. I'm going to play point guard.
Especially if we play the way we have in scrimmages, he's going to get some type of award.
And that's what I did. I locked in. I worked on my game. I grinded for legend. I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out.
with Kenny, the ceiling is about as high as it could go.
The NBA put out a press release today. They said the NBA announced that a player on the Utah Jazz has preliminary tested positive for COVID-19, and the test result was reported shortly prior to the tip-off of tonight's game. The NBA is suspending gameplay following the conclusion of tonight's schedule of games until further notice. The NBA will use this hiatus to determine the next steps for moving forward in regard to the coronavirus pandemic.
So when the pandemic hit, the NBA pivoted really quickly. Honestly, I had my doubts at first, but they kept their heads down. They knew the end goal was to be able to deliver NBA 2K League broadcasts during the pandemic. There's a huge opportunity with the absence of traditional sports right now. And they got it done. We're now playing best-of-3 series instead of best-of-1 games, primarily just to account for some of the sort of anomalies that can happen with online play. Best-of-1 can already be a little bit of a coin flip for some teams. And I think as a result, we're seeing standings now that are truly indicative of the best teams in the league.
Raptors Uprising, the team from the north, taking on the team that made it all the way to the finals, 76ers GC. Taking a live look up there in Toronto, and they've really kind of retooled this whole roster. But you mentioned Timely Cook coming back. Could that be a top 10 pick that changes the overall mindset up in Toronto?
Finds himself in down low, and that's going to be a huge block coming out of the corner. I believe that was from legit. Now Kenny running the break. Kenny up with 2 hands.
Raptors just going nuts. I mean, what is going on with the 76ers? This is one of the best teams in the league. About to catch an L here. They open the season. Timely Cook is playing out of his mind like a man smoking at a gas station.
We always go to that conversation if he's playing more for just himself, he's playing for his family. Man, I don't even know. I'm kind of speechless, if I'm being completely honest with you. I didn't think it was going to be this big of a deficit. For them to come out and do what they did against a team that just came up short of winning an NBA 2K League title in Season 2, and a team that has always shown you that they are one of the best, for them to come out and beat them the way they did, I don't think anybody could have predicted it. It is rather shocking.
Y'all boys hooping. Y'all boys
Legit says, I'm in the corner. He certainly greened a lot of shots. All Raptors right now. They've kind of brought this still trill Pro-Am magic from a couple years ago.
And down low, Sick gonna pull his way straight into the paint with a 2-hand. I can only imagine the stat line Sick is putting up here.
They're going up against maybe the best team in the league as Reese Mode. I mean, who do you guard, Dirk? You got to guard everyone, and that's impossible.
But when you start to press them, they find a way to break it ASAP.
I think this pretty much solidifies that Toronto is head and shoulders above the best team in the league.
Turn me up. Turn me up.